Seeds Asia is a Japan-based nonprofit organization established in 2006 in Kobe, Japan, to expand its sister organization, Seeds activities to the Asia-Pacific region. Our mission is to ensure sustainable development and human security of people and communities in the Asia-Pacific region. To date, we have worked in the following countries: Japan, Vietnam, Myanmar, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Maldives, India, Nepal, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Our projects in the Philippines have carried the legacies of the projects in Vietnam and Myanmar, respectively having been implemented with their local ministries of education. For instance, our DRR education activities such as the Snakes and Ladders and the Millionaire's Game, which are actively used in the Philippines, have their origins in those overseas projects. Seeds Asia has also engaged in emergency support projects in disaster-stricken areas: Pakistan earthquake in 2005, Cyclone Nargis in Myanmar in 2008, Nepal earthquake in 2015. Seeds Asia would often venture into long-term projects to build back better after these humanitarian efforts. Seeds Asia first entered the Philippines in 2014. That was after Typhoon Yolanda in 2013, and conducted assessments on the initiatives of the Department of Education with regards to education continuity after disasters. The very first Yolanda Response Project was funded by Japan Platform, where school kits were distributed to learners and teachers. DRR information posters and booklets were disseminated at schools in Danao, Bogo, and Daan Bantayan, the hardest hit yet under-supported after the onslaught of the typhoon. We also conducted a seminar and briefing on disaster risk reduction, focusing on preparedness. The seminar was attended by 19 schools division superintendents from DepEd Region VII. In addition, Japan's study visit was organized and was participated by the former Assistant Undersecretary of DepEd Central Office and the former DRM Focal of DepEd Region VII to gain insights on what it looks to have continued disaster risk reduction in the education sector. After the Typhoon Yolanda Response Project, we implemented a 3-year project for capacity building on disaster risk reduction education in cooperation with the local community in Cebu Province. This project was in cooperation with Hyogo Prefectural Board of Education, funded by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, or simply known as JICA. This project provided capacity building training on disaster risk reduction, or DRR, and highlighted the importance of integration of DRR into the curriculum. One of the notable outputs of the project is the publication of a 2-volume DRRE guidebook. Volume 1 focused on capacity building and the 21 DRRE activities, while Volume 2 focused on integrating DRRE into the curriculum through iPlans. To support the disaster risk reduction and management initiatives of DepEd Regional Office 7, we implemented the support project on the promotion of school disaster risk reduction and management in Cebu Province after the conclusion of the DRRE project. This project focused on enhancing schools' management capacity to lessen the impact of disasters. These DRRM activities were pilot tested in 10 schools in 10 DepEd division offices under DepEd Region VII. The 10 pilot schools notably developed the School Disaster Preparedness Manual, which aims to guide the school DRM team in their school safety inspection using their localized inspection checklist. And lastly, the same schools crafted their school disaster response manuals, which aim to guide the school DRM team in response to disasters based on their identified hazards in schools. The achievements of this project were compiled in a publication known as Operations Guideline. This publication aims to provide ideas for step-by-step implementation of school DRRM. In mid-December 2021, while the world was still recovering from the global pandemic, Typhoon Odette brought about extensive and disruptive damage to the Visayas, affecting millions of learners and thousands of schools across DepEd Region VII. To respond to calls for help from DepEd partners, we implemented a Typhoon Odette response project funded by Japan Platform, Project for Education Continuity in Cebu Province, Region 7. Through this project, generator sets were donated to DepEd offices and schools, and cleanup efforts were conducted to accelerate the resumption of school. To ensure that the previous project's impacts will prevail and be sustained, Seeds Asia together with Hyogo Prefectural Board of Education commenced the third long-term project on strengthening and promoting of school-based disaster risk reduction in Central Visayas, also supported by JICA. The project aimed to establish a standardized DRR training for schools, train and maintain a pool of trained school-based DRR experts within DepEd, and institutionalize those mechanisms through a policy at the regional level. The project searched a model school that is highly vulnerable to disasters but is motivated to become more prepared for such disasters. After calling for applications, conducting interviews, and visits, Inabanga North Central Integrated School in Bohol was appointed as the project's model school. Seeing the need to enhance the learners' and school personnel's understanding of the effects of weather in their day-to-day decision-making, during the implementation of the third project, Seeds Asia implemented a mini-project on weather education where a series of workshops for learners were conducted. This project is funded by WNI WX Bongka Foundation in partnership with DepEd Division of Bohol and Inabanga North Central Integrated School. This project aimed to promote youth-led weather observation to enhance their understanding of weather and enable the school to make informed decisions based on day-to-day localized weather information. To aid learners of Inabanga North Central Integrated School Secondary, another short-term project called Youth Development and Disaster Risk Reduction through cross-learning programs between high school students in the Philippines and Japan was implemented in partnership with Tokyo Club, DepEd Division Office of Bohol, and Inabangan North Central Integrated School Secondary. The goal of the project was to cultivate a shared understanding of global challenges, emphasizing the necessity of cooperation and collective action among youth, targeting high school students from INSIS and Himeji Commercial High School in Hyogo Prefecture. This is Seeds Asia in the Philippines. 10 years of service in DRR, building resilience that spans 4 generations. Here's to more strengthened schools and communities with the Department of Education at the helm.